This really goes back to the whole, like to the essence of Connecting Champions, is that it doesn't matter what the child wants to be or has an interest in, like they're taken seriously in whatever that is, whether they want to be a clown or a ghost buster or whatever. That's not important. What's important is that you have somebody, a friend or somebody who's willing to go on that journey with you and to explore it with you. I mean, that's what being a friend is, you know?
For our final panel, I'm calling it our Givers panel, and I wanted to bring on 3 people who have given in different ways. And that's something that I'm really proud of, is that our organization is such a community-based organization. We need an entire community of people to make what we do possible. It's not just our mentors, it's not just our donors, there's so many people behind the scenes as well that help us do what we do. And I wanted to bring 3 of those people on. So Izzy, I wanted to start with you. I must say you've been a part of Connecting Champions in just about every way imaginable. You founded a student group for Connecting Champions. You were an intern of ours. You mentored a 5-year-old girl with cancer in our program. You're on our event planning committee, and you're a donor. I feel like at this point, like I have to watch my seat because you might be stealing it soon. So I just wanted to ask you, like, can you talk a little bit about what role Connecting Champions has played in your life?
It's played many roles for me. I mean, as you can see, all the hats I've worn, but I feel like I've kind of grown with each one, just like I've grown as a person too. So, I mean, you know, we started this organization, honestly, just something for my roommates and I to do. And we thought, hey, let's give it a shot and see what happens. We had no idea what running a student organization was. And then, I mean, that's how I met you, and I met Jen and Coy and started getting involved with the kids. So I thought, hey, I want to be a mentor to someone. And so then I took on that hat and met Avery, and that was one of the best things to ever come out of Connecting Champions for me, was meeting Avery and just seeing firsthand what exactly, you know, you guys were doing. And then that turned into an internship and spending time and seeing, you know, your side of things and how much work goes into just running this organization, and, you know, all the different little behind the scene details that people don't realize. And then, I mean, I still wanted to be a part. So then we started event planning. Who knew I could event plan, but I'm figuring out as I go. And, you know, now that I've transitioned into, you know, my big girl job, as I call it, like being able to actually donate more than just my time, but giving money and making these friendships possible is something that's been very important to me now too. So just many roles, but I've loved every single one of them.
Well, I can say without a doubt that they've definitely loved you back, which is, yeah, you are awesome in every way. I wanted to next bring on Tracey. So Tracey, we met when I was, I think, just 23 years old, and you were truly one of my very, very first mentors. You coached me as I wrote my first grant. Shout out to the Grable Foundation. You've helped map out our sustainable fundraising strategy because you're on our board of directors. And you've been a part of our last 3 strategic plans as we are mapping out the future of the organization. And one thing I wanted to ask you is, you know, as a program officer at a foundation, you must meet hundreds of nonprofits. And what made you want to be on our board? What is unique about our organization?
I've seen you grow. It's always been hard work, right? It's always been right from your passion, from your heart. And I've seen it grow so much more into heart and head work. It started, it was always heart and head, but it has, you know, the idea that you are looking at what's developmentally appropriate for kids, and you're helping them to not sort of regress developmentally. So, you know, on the one hand, it sounds like a really sweet, you know, when you describe it, it sounds like this really great, organization that just helps kids in this at this really vulnerable time. And like hidden in the weeds is the fact that you're really, solving part of the issue that kids who are diagnosed with cancer have, and that is that developmental regression.
Well, I guess the only response to that is from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And I wanted to just finish up by introducing and asking one final question to Scott and Sue Lammie. So Scott and Sue, I like to call you my Pittsburgh tour guides. I think when I met you first, Scott, we had connected our kids with only 3 different professions. And I quickly met Sue after that, and you two became founding members of what we now call our Mentor Outreach Committee, finding mentors for all of our kids. And since then, we've added 47 more professions, which is just wild. And you helped us develop our historic partnership with Children's Hospital. You're 2 of our largest donors. You've introduced us to companies who are interested in providing mentors to sponsor our program or be corporate sponsors. And you've generally introduced us to inspirational people and organizations across the city. And I know that you are givers to in so many ways, to so many places in our community. And I want to ask you, similar to what I asked Tracey, is what makes us unique? Why? What gives meaning behind your gifts to Connecting Champions?
It's heartwarming, and it's just amazing to see that happen, and across all of these. It's not just 1 or 2, isolated situations. Every kid and the families that rally around them. I mean, it's amazing to witness this kind of transformation that they all experience and that we all experience. I mean, we feel it. It's very personal to all of us.
Mm-hmm. And I think there are a lot of organizations that, we're involved with. I mean, certainly Scott with his board involvement in a lot of different nonprofits and organizations. And so we know what they do. We know they're doing good work and all that, but none of them are as personal as Connecting Champions. One of the ways that your organization is so different is, again, sort of the personal, not your personal story, but we know these kids. I mean, we know their names. We know what they're interested in.
Yeah. I love that. I really do want Connecting Champions to feel like a family to all of us. So I'm really happy and proud to hear that. Thank you all so much for everything you give to our organization. This was a real joy for me.